Hylics is best described as a surrealist game with a handmade clay design, meaning it's both terrifying and incredibly cool to me. It reminds me, of course, of The Neverhood, that other claymation game that I'm both fascinated in and perpetually creeped out by. It's a good kind of creeped out, though, the kind that leaves you wanting more. I don't know. Claymation and me have a weird relationship. Oh, and this game is also an RPG, made in RPG Maker, which is mostly why I felt the need to talk about it. You play as a moon man named Wayne. It's actually pretty funny because the other members of the party you recruit later have names like Daduzmoln, Samsnosa, and Pangorma, and then just Wayne. Anyway, you watch TV, take a bath, and leave your house to go on an adventure. As you do. Where are you going? And why? Who knows? It's a surrealist game, remember? Some narrator guy at the beginning mentions how there's a moon king and something about a gland of being. Oh yeah, I got one of those. So your guess really is just as good as mine as to what the hell it's all about, if it even is meant to be about anything to begin with. Fortunately, I found something on Steam that explained the game uses random text generations, which told me all I needed to know going into the game. Crap like, lurid stones will caress thy semi-furnace, 4 biscuits will sniff far beyond our vacuum. Yeah, none of that means anything, and is meant to not mean anything, though I couldn't say whether it would be better going into this game knowing this or not. It could have been kind of fun trying to glean something from all the randomness. The game sure does like mentioning biscuits, for some reason, though that might have just been my personal playthrough. I mean, I do like biscuits. And I'm sure more imaginative minds than mine have put some sort of solid narrative together from what scraps of story there genuinely is in the game. But I personally prefer knowing that it's all nonsense in the offset, because that type of artistic interpretation crap, it drives me bonkers. I mean, what may consider his mountain of monochrome field? There are some snippets of a narrative, especially with the characters that join your party. Daduzmoln, for instance, is some sort of collector of ancient artifacts, the rare and highly sought-after paper cup being one of them, which kind of paints this picture of the game taking place in some messed up future of our own world, where water coolers are sacred entities to be cherished. And, I mean, a 25 increase in will is nothing to sneeze at. Samsnosa is the only human-looking character in the game, and that's not necessarily a good thing. She hangs out in Pee-wee's playhouse watching TV before joining the party. She says this world is a fine world, and it's gentle vacuum. Pangorma is one of those hard-asses that makes you fight them to prove your worthiness. He possesses ancient odor, and his battle cry is "Noble skeleton, levitate her prison." And that's our epic RPG lineup: Gumby, Pokey, Prickle, and Goo. Despite its weird for weirdness sake mentality, there are some aspects to the world that became pretty clear to me early on. Trash cans, for instance. Well, those are essentially your treasure chests. Couches and bathtubs are for healing your party. Cacti and trees can be harvested for vegetables, which are healing items. Crystals are for quick travel. TVs are for unlocking new abilities. Oh, and also my favorite unlockable ability in this game, by far, has to be illusion form. You can't use it in battle, but it lets you randomly change the character's models. It's great. Mightiness, texture, jollity, cooking, guts, and philology, they're all just renames for physical attack, defense, magic attack, magic defense, speed, and luck. So when you strip all the artistic flourishes of Hylics, it really does just become another one of those RPGs we've played many times before. Take the combat system, for example. It's pretty standard stuff, but it's so full of style and trippy visuals that it gives the sense that it should all feel alien. You don't just eat a burrito, you watch it spin and unravel in front of you. which definitely isn't how you eat a burrito, but whatever. You don't just throw dynamite, you witness an entire nuclear explosion occur right in front of you. In fact, I found it a little discomforting how quickly I got used to this surreal world and how it functions. It's like when you know you're in a dream and just go along for the ride. It's like they always say, amidst this wheel, your skeleton prepares. I also love that you can see the articulated joints in the action figures they used for the enemies. I don't know, it just adds even more charm to the game's style for me. Video games that use clay animation are just a feast on the eyes, even when done by a single guy. That's right, this was all done by one Mason Lindroth, an artist who started off with an indie game called Asmosnos. You're gonna see a pattern with the naming here. All the clay sculptures, stop motion work, and programming was Mason's handiwork. Hell, I'm pretty sure the hands you see during battles are his. I do really like how the game takes advantage of the clay aesthetics, and how you never quite know what's gonna happen when you interact with objects. Again, playing into that dreamlike feeling. Even the music greatly contributes to the atmosphere. Almost all of it composed by Mason Lindroth himself. But what I'm most impressed by the music is how it's properly odd and dissonant, but never really grating, and at times even kind of calming and beautiful, except for the shop. A lot of that may have to do with the choice of instrumentation coinciding really well with the scenery and graphics. Nothing sounds out of place. There's even a place you can go to in the game to make your own music. It's okay if you don't understand my musical vision. It's more mortal corrosion than memory now. One downside I'd give this game is it does like to put you in mazes with these ambulant skulls and statues that cause instant death, which is frustrating. Yeah, no amount of grinding is gonna save you from this, just favor from the RNG gods. It is nice that they decided to go the route of enemies you actually see before encountering, but I feel like this isn't the right way to implement it. Thanks to these segments alone, you will encounter a lot of death. Speaking of, one major gameplay feature that does differ greatly from your standard RPG is how you die, which is always accompanied by this scene. Any other game would dump you back to the menu where you'd have to go back to your last save. Hylics, however, takes you to the Land of Fish instead, which is its own little locale complete with a couch to crash on, random bullshit dialogue, and even a TV and other treasure you can uncover. Some you can only get after you've died at least 3 times and talked to this fish. The only way out of this place is by using these crystals you've activated around the world, which teleports you to that location, meaning it's sometimes quicker to just die and teleport back somewhere than hoofing it across the map. This place also has what sort of works as the game's level up system. Killing most enemies rewards you with meat. Toss these in the meat grinder and your total health will increase. This and using paper cups on water coolers are the only ways your characters can get stronger in this game, other than just buying and discovering stronger equipment. Oh my god, I just got it. You were literally grinding in an RPG. The big bad is the aforementioned Moon King, and the party even takes a rocket into space to get to him. It feels pretty inconsequential given the oddities you've already been smothered with up until then. It doesn't help that the key to said rocket is being sold by a hot dog vendor. And going up to the Moon King himself, there's no resistance whatsoever. You just completely annihilate everybody when you walk into them. Well, Your Majesty, don't know what you've done to deserve this, but get wrecked, I guess. Hold on. I got experience for that? And now everyone's at level 63? Is this a joke or a bug with the game engine? No, whatever. And so ends the tale of the forbidden jellies. I guess if I were to glean any sense of meaning or story behind this game, it would be that it's meant to represent a materialistic world where the flesh of your enemies is a viable currency, and even the afterlife has treasures to uncover. This is most evident in that building where creatures and test tubes get turned into money. And you can still do this even after you kill the guy running the place. Maybe the whole purpose of Wayne's quest from the very beginning is to usurp the throne and control the moon himself. And, if you want to get philosophical, the whole world is made out of clay. Cold, malleable, and unliving clay. Nothing here is alive. Nothing here has a soul. It's all just matter floating haplessly in space. So this game easily represents the two meanings of materialism. Or you can go with my other theory that this game is trying to show what it would be like if extraterrestrials tried to make their own Final Fantasy. Yeah, that's the thing with creations like this. It can honestly mean anything to anybody. To use this game's own words to describe it, beyond this window frame, a phantasmagoric tableau unfolds, and whatnot. But what can't be debated is Hylics is a trip. And though it's a short game that I've shown a decent amount of clips for already, I'd still recommend anyone to go and experience it for themselves. Not as a video game, but more of an interactive art piece. Because at the end of the day, that's really what it is. Like any great RPG, it's not so much a game you play in order to beat, but more a story where the gameplay serves to customize the experience to your choices and playstyles. Oh my god. Yeah, my videos have started getting too pretentious, haven't they? Wait a second. Was I always wearing this scarf? And where the hell did this Cabernet come from? And why do I suddenly feel like listening to vinyl? Oh